Today I will be completing the rest part. So we know what is pH, and the normal pH is 7.4 in blood, and its range is from 7.35 to 7.45. And it is necessary to keep the pH within this range. When the pH deviates from this range, there may be problem in the functioning of the cell, because the changed pH beyond the normal range brings certain change in the protein molecule, in its shape, in its conformation, and when this is changed, the conformation of the proteins in the cell as well as conformation of the enzymes, when changes, then what happens? It loses its activity. So, in the changed circumstance, the activity of the enzymes will be deteriorating and proteins will be deformed. So, consequence is lack of functioning of the cell. So, it is necessary, very much necessary, to control the pH. So, for that reason, maintenance of blood pH to a normal range is necessary. Body can survive in a pH range of 6.8 to 7.8. Beyond this, body will not be able to survive. This is the compatibility pH of the body. And why this changes? Why pH changes? Because of addition of some acids or addition of some basic substances. For example, our body, our cells are producing lot of carbon dioxides because of metabolic activities. So every cell needs energy. For that purpose, it is oxidizing carbohydrates, fats, and consequently it produces carbon dioxide. Now what will happen to these carbon dioxide generated in the cell? So this is the cell. So here what happens? Carbs, they are glucose, they are oxidized into water, carbon dioxide and ATP through various enzymatic mechanisms. And what will happen to this carbon dioxide? It cannot be accommodated within the cell. So it has to be eliminated. So what happens? This is the blood capillary, and within the blood capillary there are RBCs. So these are RBC. Now this carbon dioxide here in the blood, PCO2 is low, but here since carbon dioxide is generating, here PCO2, partial pressure of carbon dioxide, will be high. So because of this, increased partial pressure, carbon dioxide will be diffused into RBC, into blood, and most of them will be transferred into the RBC. Here what happens? In RBC what happens? Carbon dioxide combines with water and it forms H2CO3. There is an enzyme in the RBC called carbonic anhydrase. With the help of this enzyme, it is rapidly converted into H2CO3. Now it dissociates. This is happening in RBC. These reactions are happening in RBC. Immediately, it is transformed, dissociates. It dissociates into hydrogen ion and bicarbonate ion. Now see, with the increase in carbon dioxide production, when there will be increased production of carbon dioxide, when there will be increase in the increased need of ATP, then it will use more, it will produce more carbon dioxide, it will use more oxygen, and as a result of this, because of increased oxidation, it will produce more carbon dioxide. So more carbon dioxide means more production of this within the cell. So as a result, the RBC may lose its activity. pH will be lowering, no? So it has to be eliminated. This hydrogen has to be eliminated. So how it is done? This is the RBC. So here what happened? Carbon dioxide has entered from tissue cell to extracellular fluid, from there into the blood plasma, from there into the cell, RBC. So here it will combine with water and it will form H2CO3. This will be dissociated as HCO3 plus hydrogen ion. Now what will happen to this hydrogen ion? The pH will be decreased. Lot of carbon dioxide will be adding, so lot of hydrogen ion will be produced. So there it should be neutralized, this hydrogen ion, or it should be converted into. This blood, this RBC contains hemoglobin. This RBC is, or this blood is coming to tissues to supply oxygen and to bring carbon dioxide. So it is coming to the tissue level. So at the tissue level, only carbon dioxide will enter, and in lung, opposite thing will happen. Carbon dioxide will be back to alveoli. Whatever has entered, this will be going back to alveoli. So before that, so it has to travel, no? This RBC has to travel from the tissue into lung alveoli. So during this process, during this time, what will happen to the RBC? Okay, let's see. Hemoglobin has come here to deliver its oxygen to the cell. When there is accumulation of hydrogen ion, this compound breaks into oxygen and Hb negative. So the hemoglobin, it carried oxygen from the lung to supply to the tissues. So this compound, oxyglobin, has to liberate oxygen, has to liberate its oxygen. So it's liberated its oxygen. Now it will be passing to the tissues. So exchange already been done. Carbon dioxide entered, oxygen went to the cell. Respiration, process of respiration done. Now the consequence is there is accumulation of this, and there is, after liberation of oxygen, it is Hb negative. Now both of them will combine, will form HSB. Now the problem of hydrogen ion gone. This is accepted by the base. This is the acid, hydrogen is the acid, base is Hb negative, so it is accepted it and it formed HSB. Now in this way, and what will happen to this carbonic acid? So because of this, you see, negatively charged hydrogen ion is gradually increasing. So inside of the cell will gradually become negatively charged, more negatively charged. But we have to maintain the electrical neutrality. Okay. So what will happen? This bicarbonate ion will enter into the plasma, and in exchange some chloride ion from plasma will enter into the cell. This is called chloride shift. In respiration, one question comes, chloride shift. What is chloride shift? Hamburger phenomena. Chloride shift is whenever carbon dioxide enters in from tissues into the blood, into the RBC, we can see some chloride ion is also entering within the RBC. Chloride ion is also entering within the RBC. And when the RBC is releasing its carbon dioxide, plasma is releasing its carbon dioxide to the lung, again the new chloride ion which is entering into the RBC, this will come out. So we can see when carbon dioxide enters, chloride ion from plasma is entering into the RBC, and when carbon dioxide is released from the RBC to the alveoli, we can see the entered chloride ion in the RBC, it is coming out back to plasma. This shifting of chloride ion between RBC and chloride ion and plasma is called chloride shift. Is that clear to you? What is chloride shift? Okay. So now we can see carbon dioxide produced by the cell is converted into bicarbonate, and this bicarbonate is again, some bicarbonate will be retaining within the RBC and some bicarbonate, most of the bicarbonate will be coming to plasma, and here it may combine in the plasma, in the blood. There are a lot of sodium ion, sodium chloride. We know the taste of blood is salty. Why? There are sodium chlorides. So there are a lot of sodium chloride, so that sodium this sodium chloride dissociated into Na plus Cl, and this Cl actually entered here, and now this sodium will combine with this and will form sodium bicarbonate. So in this way, these are the phenomena made at the tissue level. Now see what is happening in the lung level. This is alveoli. RBC, blood vessel, capillary, and here is plasma. This is RBC. So here hemoglobin came as HSB. It was there as SbO2 negative. Now it is, after liberating hydrogen oxygen, it has become as HSB. Now it is reduced hemoglobin. Now it has come to the lung to carry oxygen. Okay. So there is HSB. In the plasma there is bicarbonate ion, sodium bicarbonate. So here it will be dissociated into sodium and bicarbonate ion. Now this bicarbonate ion will enter into the cell RBC. Okay. Now from alveoli, oxygen will enter and combine with this HSB, and it will form HbO2 negative plus hydrogen ion. Now this hydrogen ion and this negative ion will be converted into H2CO3. Immediately this will be broken into H2O plus carbon dioxide. Now this carbon dioxide will enter into the alveoli. See, the carbon dioxide which was carried by the plasma, now it is converted into carbon dioxide into the RBC. Then this carbon dioxide diffused into alveoli, because here PCO2 is less. Here, because of this conversion, HCO3 to PCO2 partial pressure is rising. So there will be pressure difference. Because of pressure difference, carbon dioxide will enter here. See, during this mechanism, this hydrogen ion, when oxygen entered, this hydrogen ion is released, and it is a tendency to increase the pH. So how it has been buffered? It is buffered by bicarbonate ion, which has entered from plasma into this. As a result, H2CO3 is formed, and now this H2CO3 will be broken into H2O plus carbon dioxide. Now this carbon dioxide will be released. The problem of hydrogen ion gone, it is converted into water only. So in this way, here only the chloride ion here which is entered will now coming back, because HCO3 is entering, no? If one HCO3 enter, one has to come out, which has previously entered. Now they will be coming out in exchange of bicarbonate ion. So we can see, because of presence of H2CO3 and HCO3, these are buffer, bicarbonate buffer. Because of this buffer, presence of this buffer, we can tolerate pH change because of entry of carbon dioxide. The entry of carbon dioxide produces a lot of hydrogen ion. So this is buffered by this carbonic acid bicarbonate buffer, and it has immense role. See what happens. I stop my breathing for a while. I will not be able to continue. So for a while I stopped. What will happen? My carbon dioxide will be accumulated within the blood. Means there will be no formation of HCO3. So there will be accumulation of hydrogen ion. So my blood will become acidic. You understand this for this thing? So blood will be stoppage of breathing means accumulation of carbon dioxide in blood, means accumulation of hydrogen ion, means decreasing pH. So when this blood will go to my brain having more hydrogen ion, will go to my brain is having, my medulla is having respiratory centers. There are various respiratory centers. DRG, BRG, apnostic center, pneumotaxic centers. The pneumotaxic center lies in pons. Below the pons there is medulla, and the apnostic center lies in between, and DRG, dorsal group of respiratory neuron, and ventral group of respiratory neuron, they reside in medulla. Now what will happen when this blood having low pH, means more hydrogen ion, will enter into the medulla? There are some chemoreceptors. They got stimulated. Array, my blood has become acidic. So you have to take proper action. So when this receptors is stimulated, they stimulate dorsal group of respiratory neuron. When these are stimulated, these neurons, whenever you stimulate this neuron, immediately my respiratory drive, inspiratory drive is increased. I will take deep inhalation and rapid inhalation, rapid breathing. As a result, I will be washing my the carbon dioxide which was deposited in my blood, it will be eliminated. Again, pH will be coming to normal. So this is respiratory mechanism. Could you follow or should I repeat? Okay, you come forward. If I stop breathing for a while, what will happen to blood? Accumulation of carbon dioxide. Okay, and this accumulation of carbon dioxide will also cause accumulation of hydrogen. The blood will become acidic. Hydrogen, increase in hydrogen means more acidic. So this acidic blood will be traveling to the brain, to my brain. There are chemoreceptors. They are stimulated by acidic pH, more acidic pH, by hydrogen ions. So this hydrogen ion will stimulate the chemoreceptor present in medulla. They in return, they will stimulate dorsal group of respiratory neuron, means respiratory centers. Now the activity of the respiratory center is increased. Before that my respiration was suppressed. Now because of respiratory drive, there will be reflexly my vagus nerve and other nerve, vagus nerve will be inhibited and other nerve supplying the diaphragm, supplying the inspiratory muscle, their activity will be increased. As a result, I will inhale. Previously my tidal volume was like this, less, nearly 500 ml. Now this tidal volume will be increased, where I will take more oxygen, more air. Okay, and exhale more gas. And the process will be continued. How long? And if it is continued, the carbon dioxide which was deposited caused accumulation of the reverse phenomena will start. As a result, carbon dioxide will be released, and this carbon dioxide will be released through because of hyperventilation will be released from blood into the alveoli. Okay, so this will be washed out. So there is no, when carbon dioxide will be formed from bicarbonate ion, so this will take up hydrogen ion to become H2CO3, to become when carbon dioxide is accumulated, see this carbon dioxide is converted into by RBC into this. So this is the result of breath holding. There will be accumulation of this and this. Now what will happen? When I am studying hyperventilation, now both of them will combine into H2CO3. Again, you are feeling drowsy. Yes, I have seen. What happened to you? What, do you take any drug? Now this H2O3 will be broken into H2O plus carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide will be eliminated through lung, through ventilation. So see, it is converted into water. So now no acid, no hydrogen ion. It is converted into water only. So by hyperventilation, I can minimize the blood pH. So pH regulation by bicarbonate buffer is very effective. Instantly I can reduce the acidity. I can increase the pH from acidic pH to alkaline pH by increasing simply the breathing. If you are thinking about things by, I am disturbed, I am thinking about the incident, at that time what is happening? My breathing is suppressing gradually. So there will be accumulation of carbon dioxide, accumulation of pH. So after some time, I will feel, the body will feel it is increasing. So that time it will increase the activity. Then I will take deep breath. When it is stimulated, then I will take the deep breath. So whenever you are in stress, you will be accumulating carbon dioxide. Maybe physical stress, maybe mental stress. During mental stress, your breathing is suppressed a little bit. So there will be accumulation of carbon dioxide, there will be accumulation of acid. So now if you hyperventilate, there was some girl, she was a little bit stressed, so I said, okay, you do one thing, hyperventilate. So by hyperventilating, she is reducing the hydrogen ion concentration within the blood, and as a result, she is now able to cope up with the stress, able to prevent the stress. So whenever you feel this, you take deep inhalation. What is this? What is this exercise called? This breathing exercise? Pranayama. See the significance of these exercises. So you have to think physiologically. You have to think by this you can liberate so many things. Some volatile substances are there, so that also can be eliminated. So this has got a good effects, beneficial effects. So we could realize that it has got a very important function in stabilizing or in regulating our pH. This is another type of buffer is there in our blood, that is in our blood or in our tissues. These are phosphate buffer. These are phosphate buffer. NaH2PO4. This is acidic component. This hydrogen, one of the hydrogen can be liberated whenever needed. So if my pH has to be increased, suppose pH is increased, means it has become alkaline. So it will donate, it can liberate hydrogen ion. It can liberate hydrogen and maintain the pH. Another component is having Na2HPO4. This is the base component. Means what are the base? Who can accept, who can combine with hydrogen ion. So we can see when there will be hydrogen ion, this can be converted into NaH2PO4. NaH2PO4. Okay. So not this hydrogen ion. So in this way, this hydrogen can be accommodated. So increase in hydrogen concentration can be prevented by this. This is monohydrogen sodium phosphate. And see about this. Whenever if there is pH of the medium is decreased, pH is increased, means it is more alkaline. pH 7.8, 7. It is increasing. So what is this component? This acidic component will release hydrogen ion, and this will be converted into this compound Na2HPO4. So one buffer can yield hydrogen ion when necessary, and another component of the buffer, it can accept hydrogen atom when there is need. By this way, they can control the pH if it is within a narrow range, if alteration is within a narrow range. This buffer is actually prevalent more in the tissue, in the extracellular fluid. See, if blood pH is changed, blood vessel, so here is the pH, and here is the ECF, and here the ICF. Blood, extracellular fluid or interstitial fluid or intracellular fluid. Change in pH will cause change in ECF. This will also cause change in ICF. Okay? So it is very important to maintain the blood pH. Otherwise, all cells, all other things, ECF as an intercellular fluid, the pH will also be changing there. So ultimately the cell will be affected. So it is necessary to maintain. If I can maintain the blood pH, so my extracellular pH can be controlled, my intracellular pH can also be controlled. That's why it is maintaining blood pH is very important. And this phosphate buffer is actually prevalent here in extracellular fluid. Its importance in intracellular fluid is less. Here, more powerful is bicarbonate one and the protein buffer. In plasma, there are some proteins. We'll see how protein acts as buffer. We'll see that. Now, let's see what are the sources of these acids what are the sources which can change the pH? What are these substances? There may be some various acids and some may be, when these acids are added to the blood, so pH will be changed. When some base is added to the I ingested, then it will be coming to my blood and this will cause my change in pH. See, every day you are doing it. Sometimes you are drinking cold drinks, this is having some preservatives and some other thing, it may change your pH level. Similarly, you are having meat, fish, protein-rich food. All protein-rich food are acidic. All protein-rich food are acidic. And when you eat, your urine will be mainly acidic. And when you take, when there will be a lot of vegetables in your diet, all the vegetables are actually basic in character. So from this, some basic compounds will be added and it will try to make the blood little bit alkaline. And the urine formed from this blood through kidney, this is alkaline, not acidic. So in that way, vegetarians are benefited. But always we have to combat with acids. We are from cellular oxidation, we are producing acids. So when we are exercising, some lactic acid is formed because of anaerobic metabolism. This is adding acids. In this way, there are some other compound that may add acid in my blood. These acids, which can be added into the blood to change the pH, to lower the pH, we can divide them into two parts. Some are volatile acid and some are non-volatile. See, H2CO3. So this can be converted into carbon dioxide, easily converted into carbon dioxide. So it may be, it is volatile. Lactic acid, is it volatile? No. Sulfuric acid. What did I say? Are we generating sulfuric acid? No. Yes. We can generate sulfuric acid. From which compound we can generate? You eat proteins? You eat proteins? Hello? You eat proteins? When these proteins are digested in my GI tract, in my alimentary canal, what I produce? Proteins are made up of units. What are these units? Amino acids. So, lot of amino acids will be formed. And out of these amino acids, among these amino acids, there are some amino acids which contain sulfur. There are some sulfur containing amino acids like methionine, cysteine. These are sulfur containing amino acids. So since I have consumed these sulfur containing amino acids, these are also essential in my body. So once this will be metabolized. When they are metabolized, they will produce H2SO4. So when this H2SO4 is produced from the catabolism of sulfur containing amino acid, so it will add into the as acid into the blood, and this will increase, it decrease the pH further. So in this way some acid may come. Lactic acid, as I said, lactic acid may come. Citrate, this may come, citric acid, this may come and may cause further lowering of pH. So these are non-volatile. These acids are non-volatile. So when this will be added, that has to be buffered. But mechanism of buffering, because ultimately they will produce hydrogen ion. Ultimately all these acids, whether lactic acid or sulfuric acid, they will be producing hydrogen ion. So if I can eliminate this hydrogen ion, then I can manage the pH to bring it down to the normal level. So way out is eliminate hydrogen ion, and that too through my kidney and through my respiratory system. There are two ways, two organs, two systems, the renal system and the respiratory system. They can only eliminate the hydrogen ions. Carbon dioxide, respiratory system, how it can eliminate? The hydrogen ion will be combined with bicarbonate ion. Bicarbonate is produced from carbon dioxide and they will produce H2CO3, and this will be dissociated into water and carbon dioxide. Now carbon dioxide will be eliminated and hydrogen ion is converted into water. So in that way the respiratory system can manage this. And the kidney, so before coming to whether I am having time, but this is important, renal regulation. This is permanent, vital part of regulation. Kidney is performing the vital part and long-standing. Its role is long-standing. Respiratory, its role is immediate. Like we get more oxygen. How? How my blood, my cells can get more oxygen? By increasing breathing. So I increase breathing, who will carry? Blood is activity not increased. So by increasing my breathing, no way, it will not going to help, because it has to be carried by the blood. So activity of the CVS is also to be increased. So there should be simultaneous increase in, when I will be exercising, increase in CV cardiovascular system and respiratory system, even by thermoregulatory system. Because by doing the exercise I will produce lot of energy, lot of heat, and this heat is accumulated within my body. So how can I get rid of this excess temperature, excess heat? Then another system will come forward. This is thermoregulatory system. It will eliminate by different processes this excess heat. So whenever we have to change one function, it should be it should be complemented by other system also. So for this, who will then somebody has to be there who will control. Who will control? So there should be some controlling system in my body. There are two types of controlling system in our body. One is our brain, nervous system, and Another is our endocrine system. The controlling function of endocrine system is slow. It takes long time. But control by the nervous system is immediate. Okay? So, see, if I want to increase my heart rate, I got afraid. This is stress. So, what happens? Immediately, my nervous system increases the heartbeat. And there is role of endocrine system also. This will liberate, it will stimulate sympathetic nervous system and some nerves supplying the heart. Nerves supplying sympathetic, some nerves of sympathetic nervous system will be supplying my heart. It will, from the ending of the nerves, there will be secretion of adrenaline, epinephrine, norepinephrine. They will stimulate my heart. They stimulate the SA node. The activity of the SA node will be increased. The power of contraction will be increased. The excitability of the tissue will be increased. As a whole, the cardiac activity will be increased. They will cause positive bathmotrophic effect, positive inotrophic effect. They will produce positive chronotrophic effect. Means they will increase the heart rate, they will increase the excitability, they will increase the conductivity. All the activity, conductivity of SA node, impulse from SA node has to come to AV node, from there to Purkinje fibers. So then only cardiac muscle will get impulse, the stimulation. Then when the cardiac muscle got these impulses, then it will only contract. So as adrenaline but noradrenaline, they changes the cardiac activity this way. Okay, so always remember, there are two types of controlling mechanism. One by your nervous system. It has got two other systems, sympathetic, parasympathetic. Both are balancing, maintaining homeostasis. One is anabolic, another is catabolic. Parasympathetic is catabolic and parasympathetic is anabolic.